This video was made not to boast in any way, just simply to target it towards someone that was like me a few years ago. From ages 12 to 15, I was quite chubby. I didn't eat healthy at all. And all I thought about was video games. I initially had some good grades in school, but as time went on, these grades began to fall. I did nothing else productive. My days would consist of coming home from school, turning on my Xbox and playing that for about 4 hours before going to bed, or watching YouTube for about 2-3 hours to procrastinate, before going to sleep and finally waking up about 6 to 8 hours later. I had no goals or ambitions. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. All I knew is that I loved YouTube and loved video games. Occasionally, I would stay up to 2-3 AM and find myself in a rabbit hole of self-improvement type videos like Matt D'Avella or Cole Hastings, like 7 ways to change your life in 2020, those kind of videos. There wasn't one specific event which made me turn my life around. I feel like it was just one day I decided that this was enough. This was the FTE, the fuck this event. This was about 2 years ago, and since then my life has changed completely. Now I'd like to say I am much better. I go to the gym around 5 times a week, anywhere from 4 to 6 really. I wake up early, around 6:30, go to bed at 9:30, 10, 10:30 latest. I do lots of work. I run a small filming business. I meditate every day. I'm learning a new language. I've got good grades in college. I'm doing all my work. I gratitude journal twice a day. I have a good skincare routine and hygiene. I follow my to-do list. I have a Google Calendar account to track everything that I do. I have a habit tracking app where I can track everything I do in a day. I save my money instead of impulse buying. I have well under 2 hours of screen time on my phone a day. Used to be under 1, but since the business has started taking off, I have to use my phone more to take care of that. Just sort of as proof, these are some of the things I kind of use on a day-to-day basis. It's obviously my Kindle, which I use to read. I read at least about 5 pages a day just to get in a good habit. I also listen to an audiobook. I've finished lots of books, and as you can see here, here's some of my notes on them. This is my gratitude journal that I used about a year ago, which I completely filled out, as you can see, every day, twice a day. I now use an app for that, since that's just a lot more convenient for me, as nowadays everyone always has their phone with them. I don't have any social medias on my phone, not even YouTube. I didn't have Spotify for a while. All that is done on my computer to manage my business accounts. And finally, we have here just a kind of general journal. I keep my private writing in here. I now no longer watch any TV, play any video games or anything like that. Just to point out before any of you do, I know there's still a Zelda poster up there. I really do need to get around to rearranging my room, but yeah, that's you can't expose me on that. I know that's there. I did also manage to take my love for YouTube sort of into my business and into my future career. I really adore film, and YouTube and being obsessed with YouTube obviously led to me making my own YouTube channel, as everyone did when they were a bit younger. Through this, I kind of mastered the art of editing as a 12-year-old and haven't stopped since really, and I'm now doing film studies and filmmaking. I've got lots of great connections that I've worked at, top level places like the BBC. I'm going to go to a film university as well, and then hopefully get into the industry. If you could relate at all to my younger self and would like to become like my current self in any way, then listen to this. Just to preface again, I'm not trying to boast in any way. I just recognise my own progress and how much my mental health has been improved. I remember I used to get frequent panic attacks back in the day, and also just kind of get negative thoughts in general, but now I'm super happy, ambitious, goal driven. Honestly, the what I recommend is just cut out all bad habits at once, or at least try to. Get onto NoFap. That is an absolute given. I'd say delete social media off your phone, especially if the ones that you're spending more than an hour on a day. that's just a waste of time. Stop playing video games, stop watching TV, find a new hobby, start meditating, start journaling, all these new things. And I know this is really overwhelming, so I'm gonna say kind of step-by-step process. Step 1, obviously NoFap. I'd say step 1 is delete TikTok and similar apps where you kind of scroll through endlessly and there's no end to it. So apps like that, I'd just say delete, at least off your phone. So when you use them mindfully and schedule them into your calendar. Because I know what it's like to be on YouTube or TikTok and just scrolling through and watching video after video, just procrastinating. Schedule in the time where you're going to use these so you don't get distracted from your other work. NoFap is also a given that is probably the most important and beneficial thing you can do to benefit your mental health. Stuff like meditating and journaling and learning a new language and things like that, those definitely help, but I think cutting out the big bad habits first, like video games 5 hours a day or not being on NoFap, those are the biggest first obstacles. Try and find some of your friends or people online to kind of connect with. It's really a lot easier when you have someone to be accountable with. I am nowhere near perfect. There are so many more obstacles for me to get over and still a few bad habits that I need to cut out of my life. But I am so much better where I am now than where I was a few years ago. And that's just really what I'm trying to get across. Self-improvement doesn't happen overnight, but there are a few big changes which you can make overnight that will significantly improve the rest of your life. I believe that we should make the most of our time. Obviously, death is a given in life, but I feel like we should really make the most of our time while we're here on Earth. And time scrolling through TikTok at 2 a.m. or watching YouTube is definitely not a productive use of our time. If you're watching this, then you most likely know that the bad habits you're doing are bad and you're not even getting enough dopamine from them, you're not even enjoying them. Looking back at times, even from 2 years ago, I wasted so much time not even having fun. No one but you is benefiting from self-improvement. From making this video, I am not benefiting in any way, or Hamza or any of the other big self-improvement YouTubers are not benefiting in any way. The only person benefiting is you. So people can watch self-improvement videos and think that the person giving advice is wrong and that it won't apply to them. But at the end of the day, you're the only person that's going to change you. And you're responsible for what happens in your own life. As a man, we need to be responsible for our actions. One of my favourite quotes is, "Weak men learn from their mistakes, but strong men learn from the mistakes of others." We need a generation of strong men that are meditating, journaling, working hard, instead of men scrolling through TikTok at 2 a.m, having to get up for school the next day at 7. There is never a right time, and nobody is ever going to do this for you. It's your responsibility. I'm making this video for myself, my past self, from about 5 years ago, who was directionless and goalless, and needed something like this to motivate them. Just take 2 minutes, put down any distractions, pause this video, look at the wall, and just sit and think. When's the last time you let your own thoughts control your mind instead of filling them with instant gratification? You can do this. Everybody starts somewhere, and I started 2 years ago. Nobody's journey is the same, but everyone can have a journey. I'm going to end the video with my favourite quote of all time. Weak men make fun of the weak, but strong men encourage the weak.